Welcome to this Bridgeworks Support video in which you will learn how to configure the security group for your AWS WANrockIT node. Security groups are used in AWS to enhance the security of your cloud instances. This is done by configuring a set of rules which only allow communications on specific IP protocols or port numbers from specific IP ranges or other security groups. The rules you should use for your node depend on your configuration. This video will cover each of the different security group rules you will need and how to add each rule to your node security group. These rules are used to access your node's web or command line interfaces. HTTP and HTTPS are used to access the web interface and should always be allowed. If you wish to use the command line interface, SSH should be allowed. The node also needs to be launched with a key pair to use the command line interface. The source for these rules should be the IP address from which you will administer your AWS node. These rules are used for communication and data transfer between your AWS and on-prem nodes. The UDP ports and ESP are needed if IPsec encryption is enabled on your nodes. This is recommended if connecting using public IP addresses. The source for these rules should be the public IP address of your on-prem node or the private IP address of its WAN port if the WAN link is being made over a VPN. If your AWS node is in the same security group as your iSCSI or FTP hosts, they should already be able to communicate. If not, you will need to add some additional rules. TCP port 21 is required if you are connecting to an FTP server. TCP ports 3260 and 860 are required if you are connecting to an iSCSI target or initiator. If you are using custom TCP ports for any iSCSI or FTP connections, they will need to be added as well. The source for these rules should be the security group containing your FTP and iSCSI hosts. In this example, the AWS node will connect to an FTP server and the WAN link will be established using public IP addresses. To edit your node security group, navigate to the Instances page of your EC2 dashboard. Select your node, then in the lower pane, click on the name of its security group to take you to the security groups page. From here, in the lower pane, click on the Inbound tab, then click Edit. Click Add Rule once for each of the rules required to access the node's interface. Choose the type from the drop-down in the first column. And in the source column, enter the IP address from which you will access the interface. In most cases, this can be easily done by selecting My IP from the drop-down. Next, add rules for connecting to your on-prem node. Enter 16665 in the port range box for the first rule. Change the type for the next two rules to custom UDP and enter the port numbers 500 and 4500. For the last WAN rule, change the type to custom protocol and enter ESP in the protocol field. Use the on-prem node's IP address, followed by /32 for the net mask, as the source. Finally, if necessary, add any protocol-specific rules. In this example, the node will connect to an FTP server, which uses TCP port 21. In the source field, enter the security group for your hosts. Click Save and your security group will be updated. Your node should now be accessible for management and able to communicate with other hosts.